In this video I will talk again about autophagy because of its great importance for our health and extension of life span. But for radical extension of lifespan it is not enough, so I will go a little bit more in details in this presentation. You can download this presentation with the link in the description, and then in this presentation I also give references to scientific publications. As I was already talking about autophagy, this is again a process of self-cleaning of cells from damaged and unnecessary components, and it has many health benefits and promotes longevity. Not much, maybe 5-10% only, but if we combine autophagy with supplements of some advanced enzymes which we cannot produce ourselves in our body, we can remove these toxins, we can remove these unnecessary components from our cells much better, and then you will get a real rejuvenation. I'm pushing forward this project of to produce advanced enzymes. Unfortunately, I don't have any support for now, but it works for me. At least for me, it works, and I see that how I'm getting I'm getting more energy and more endurance and strength, but with one disadvantage: it takes time. It takes time to get body rejuvenated. As the same as we are aging slowly, we rejuvenate our body slowly, but consistency is important and following all the necessary steps. Okay, and igniting autophagy is also very helpful in this direction. So autophagy, as I said, it is process of self-cleaning of cells that occurs when cells under stress or starvation. So to ignite autophagy, you have to put cells in the state of starvation or stress. So it involves removal and recycling of damaged or unnecessary proteins, organelles, and lipids from the cell cytoplasm. Again, if some glycated proteins we cannot digest, we cannot destroy in the process of autophagy with our available enzymes, we need some more enzymes. And also about lipids, then oxidized polyunsaturated fatty acids cannot be digested in the cells, so they accumulate, and they accumulate also as lipofuscin. Lipofuscin cannot be digested. It accumulates in our bodies. It accumulates in skin, and in skin we see it as age spots. So again, if we use advanced enzymes, it is possible. It is possible. At least I see that my skin losing these age spots, and plus I am removing some cross-linked glycated proteins from my body, and especially collagen, glycated collagen, and the elasticity of my blood vessels improved very much. Okay, then again, it is important process to keep our cells healthy, functional. And autophagy dysfunction has been linked to many human pathologies such as cancer, neurodegeneration, heart disease, diabetes, and aging at all. So by understanding how it works and how we can modulate it through diet, exercise, supplements, and lifestyle, we can potentially prevent or treat many diseases and improve quality of life. But again, for radical life extension, we need something more than this. But autophagy is a necessary step. So autophagy is essential for maintaining cell health and function through life. The results scientific research shows that autophagy protects cells from accumulation of waste and dysfunctional organelles and can extend longevity. Not much, but yet it works, even without the additional advanced enzymes. So if it is induced in some level in whole body, autophagy is necessary for all known ways to extend lifespan, and however, autophagy declines with age due to various factors such as reduced insulin sensitivity, impaired lysosomal function, increased oxidative stress, and chronic inflammation in tissues. Enhancing autophagy level may slow down aging and prevent or treat many diseases associated with aging. So you can click on the publication and read it. So in 2016, the Japanese scientist Yoshinori Osumi received the Nobel Prize for his groundbreaking discoveries on the mechanism and regulation of autophagy. You see, it is not long ago. Different types of autophagy target different cellular components. The main type is macroautophagy, which involves the formation of double membrane vesicle called autophagosome that engulfs and delivers the cargo to a lysosome. And a lysosome is a specialized organelle that contains enzymes which we produce, and these enzymes are supposed to break down the material into reusable parts. Again, if we don't have enzymes to break down some, for example, oxidized polyunsaturated fatty acids or glycated proteins or glycated fatty acids, then it accumulates as in our body as, for example, lipofuscin. So then these enzymes, what is important, are activated in acidic environment. The next important type of autophagy is microautophagy. It is a simple process. This involves the direct uptake of cytoplasmic material by the lysosome, such as proteins, unnecessary proteins. And chaperone-mediated autophagy is the more selective process that involves specific proteins that bind and transport unnecessary proteins across the lysosomal membrane. This slide illustrates this three types of autophagy: macroautophagy with autophagosome, and the chaperone-mediated autophagy, and the microautophagy. So one of the most important targets of autophagy is mitochondria, the organelles that produce energy generate reactive oxygen species. Reactive oxygen species are molecules that can damage DNA, proteins, and lipids if they accumulate in excess. In a special type of autophagy, that is mitophagy, mitochondria are constantly monitored and recycled. Mitophagy prevents the buildup of dysfunctional mitochondria, protects cells from oxidative stress, and regulates the number of mitochondria according to the energy needs of the cell. Mitochondrial dysfunction and impaired mitophagy have been linked to various diseases such as Alzheimer's disease, diabetes, and cancer. The selective removal of damaged mitochondria and a decrease in oxidative stress may result in lifespan extension. Even if it is not radical, it is important. Another important type of autophagy is lipophagy. Lipophagy, which involves the degradation of lipid droplets in the cell cytoplasm by lysosomes. Lipid droplets, which are mainly found in adipocytes and in our fat tissue, in hepatocytes, cells in our liver, are dynamic organelles that store triglycerides. Lipophagy is a type of selective autophagy that targets lipid droplets, and it is an essential mechanism for maintaining the homeostasis of lipid droplets inside our cells. Lipid droplets accumulate not only in fat, in our adipose tissue, but also in other other cells. Lipophagy helps to maintain lipid homeostasis and prevent obesity and metabolic disorders. However, the major factors that control lipophagy remain largely unknown. We can only make some suggestions that following ketogenic diet, for example, and removing excess of fat in our body is helpful to ignite lipophagy. Additionally, humans don't have enzymes that may break down oxidized polyunsaturated fatty acids. This is what I was saying. So oxidized polyunsaturated fatty acids may accumulate in cells and lead to lysosomal damage. The lysosomes are increasing in volume, they get dysfunctional, and it leads to cellular degeneration, even apoptosis of the cells, which is very common in macrophages. Macrophages are trying to clean our body from this oxidated and glycated polyunsaturated fatty acids, but they cannot digest it. They cannot break down to these components to smaller pieces, and then they get degenerated to form cells. Eventually, they die out, and then this is a big problem for in our body, especially in elderly. So again, only special advanced enzymes can help. Autophagy can be activated by various stimuli such as fasting, heat shock following ketogenic diet, intermittent hypoxia, exercise, certain drugs and supplements. Fasting is one of the most effective ways to induce autophagy, as it deprives the cells of nutrients and triggers a survival response. Fasting also slows down the accumulation of senescent cells, which are cells that have stopped dividing and started secreting inflammatory factors. Senescent cells contribute to aging and chronic diseases. Also, they ignite this chronic inflammation. It is possible to activate autophagy through intermittent fasting, which means restricting the food intake for certain periods. For example, some people may eat only every other day and fast longer than 36 hours every week, or fast for 3-5 days every month. This relates to fasting in following standard diet when energy is glucose is the main source of energy for our body. But okay, intermittent fasting not only triggers autophagy but also helps with weight loss, acceleration of metabolism, and improves hormonal balance. Burning fat for energy during intermittent fasting increases the level of growth hormone in the blood and promotes muscle growth in elderly, especially in elderly, because in elderly growth hormone secretion is not so good as in young people. Switching to the ketogenic diet is the most effective way to accelerate autophagy in the fasting process. Again, this is what I was always recommending, and I follow this my own recommendation. If a person has switched to burning fat as the main source of energy instead of glucose, then autophagy starts after 12 or 15 hours maximum of fasting, while on a standard diet it requires at least 24-32 hours, for sure 2 days. And indeed, on a typical diet, the body first switches to burning fat, and only then can the process of autophagy start. Also, following ketogenic diet makes fasting easier, as a person feels no hunger for a longer time. So I can eat once a day. I can be fasting a few days along, no problem. Heat shock is another way to stimulate autophagy during fasting, of course, as it is expose the cells to temperatures that cause stress and damage. Heat shock can be achieved by using a sauna, a steam room, or a cold shower and bathing in icy water. Exercise also activates autophagy, especially aerobic exercise, which increases the oxygen demand and the metabolism rate of the cells. Exercise helps to remove damaged mitochondria from the heart and other tissues, reducing the level of reactive oxygen species and other toxic molecules that can harm the cells. Again, you can read the application. Exercise increases the number size of mitochondria and improves their function. Moreover, exercise prevents development of sarcopenia, which is the loss of muscle mass and strength in elderly. High-intensity interval training is a type of exercise that involves alternating short bursts of intensive activity with periods of rest or low-intensity activity. In the context of high-intensity interval training, Intermittent hypoxia and oxidative stress may occur due to the increased demand for oxygen during intense exercise. High-intensity interval training can improve cardiovascular fitness, metabolic health, and body composition. Some studies have suggested that high-intensity interval training can increase autophagy in cardiac and skeletal muscle cells. High-intensity interval training has been shown to stimulate mitochondrial biogenesis and mitophagy. High-intensity interval training temporarily increases reactive oxygen species production, but moderate levels of reactive oxygen species act as the signal molecules that trigger autophagy in response of cells to stress. Again, I have to mention that the mechanism of the high-intensity interval training-induced autophagy may depend on several factors such as duration, frequency, intensity, type of exercise, and the individual characteristic of the exercises. So it is has to be used, of course, but maybe with supervision of your medical profession or medical doctor, or again, it's you have to take it carefully and be cautious. Moreover, the relationship between high-intensity interval training-induced autophagy and longevity or disease prevention is not well established, and you can stress your body so that you will damage it, and so be careful. And there are maybe other factors involved in the health benefits of high-intensity interval training, maybe hormonal regulation, improvement in mitochondrial function and rate of metabolism. So it is very, very useful tool, but be cautious because it's also very potent mean very big stress to our body. Therefore, okay, we cannot conclude that it is always helpful, but it has to be practiced with caution and under supervision of medical professional if you can afford it. Intermittent hypoxia is a condition that involves repeated episodes of low oxygen levels in tissues followed by normal oxygen levels. It can occur in some physiological and or pathological situations such as at high altitude, in sleep apnea, or ischemia, hyperfunction injury, pardon for my pronunciation. Some studies have suggested that intermittent hypoxia can induce autophagy in various cell types, including cardiomyocytes, endothelium cells, pancreatic beta cells, and liver cells. Okay, you can go into details. Again, this research is yet not so completed, and so we just maybe so speculate about intermittent hypoxia, but there are quite good indications that it helps to ignite autophagy and to clean our body from toxic substances. Okay, as I said, it is not yet understood, and so maybe again other factors involved such as genetic adaptation, hormonal regulation, etc. Research suggests that intermittent hypoxia can initiate autophagy to protect cells from stress and apoptosis. Again, there was research relatively recent, and it was investigated effects of intermittent hypoxia on autophagy was investigated, and there were interesting results. And so it's again there are indications that intermittent hypoxia can help, but high intensity interval training actually includes intermittent hypoxia. Some drugs and supplements can modulate autophagy, and examples are metformins, long list of supplements and medicine, but I don't recommend, of course, but some supplements and natural substances are interesting, like ginkgo biloba extract and quercetin, curcumin, and also I will talk about Spermidine also. Spermidine is one of the most promising supplements for autophagy, Again, if you use Spermidine, you have to follow carnivore or ketogenic diet. It is important because it has to be used with intermittent fasting. Of course, Spermidine itself also help, but again, it will work much better in combination with this carnivore diet and carnivore and ketogenic diet. I use myself such diet with a lot of mushrooms, which I was growing mushrooms, and I was also keeping egg laying hens, more than 20 hens, and it was free range hens, and it was very healthy food. So I made some omelettes with mushrooms, and so I was eating almost eggs and mushrooms, and I remember that it was so good for my body. Everybody, my friends were telling me, you look so good, so much better than before. Unfortunately, my small business was destroyed, and I don't grow mushrooms any longer. And if I buy mushrooms at supermarket, they are not so good quality actually. So it's not like I was growing myself. When I was growing myself, I even made invention how to grow it. It's relatively cheap, and I was growing a few kilo per day, and I was selling excess of these mushrooms. So it was absolutely free food for me. The same, and chicken also were consuming mycelium of this from this mushroom, so it was really self-sustainable production. Very good. I would recommend it to do it anybody, and I will probably do it in future. Okay, then again, Spermidine maybe as a supplement, but mind that supplements are produced synthetically and they are not as efficient as natural. So you have to use larger dosages, or probably, or I don't know, or maybe consume more mushrooms. And the Spermidine also available in cheese, mushrooms, and beef, and nuts. Okay, some nuts. Okay, Spermidine reduces age-related oxidative damage to proteins in mice and improves immune function in elderly. This is established. Autophagy dysfunction associated with a variety of human pathologies such as aging, cancer, chronic inflammation, neurodegenerative diseases, heart disease, and metabolic disorders such as diabetes. Okay, also regular initiation of autophagy does not significantly extend the duration of our life, only 5-10% without advanced enzymes. With advanced enzymes, we can count on radical rejuvenation, radical extension of our lifespan. It is my opinion. But again, will it work or not? I don't know. I tried to push this project. I don't have financial support. I produce these enzymes for myself, and I hope that results of consuming of this advanced enzymes and following this diet and igniting autophagy regular may in time, again it takes time, may be an evidence that it works for me at least, and then how it will work for other people, it's again a question of research. But if it is not supported financially, I'm sorry again about, but for me personally, I do it because all my research indicates that it is very helpful, and I can count on radical extension of my lifespan. Okay, but yet, however, excessive autophagy can lead to damage to lysosomes and accumulation of vacuoles filled with unprocessed debris such as lipofuscin in the cells. Again, excessive autophagy, but again, it is, I cannot say that it is excessive, it is just not efficient autophagy, I would say. But excessive, yeah, well, if starving also has to be used with cautious, and the best way intermittent fasting is, this again, it's much better than extended fasting, I believe. Interesting enough, again, there's some evidence and some indication for us that autophagy and is very important to extend lifespan. So bats are mammals that live much longer than expected for their size. They have very high metabolic rate, and they are not expected to live long because of this high metabolic rate. But they show only a few signs of aging during their lifespan. Bats also have a remarkable resistance to viral infections. Studies have found that bats have an unusually high level of autophagy that increase with age. So you see, with age, if we want to extend our life, if we follow this natural example of these bats, we have to increase autophagy in age. So we have to follow in old age, follow this all this intermittent fasting, carnivore diet, and ketogenic diet, and this is also practice in high intensity interval training, etc., maybe spermidine, other supplements to ignite autophagy. Then we can count on to radical extension of our lifespan, the same like bats live much longer than, for example, mice. So this again, autophagy probably explain how bats and some birds also cope with the high rate of metabolism and oxidative stress induced by their flight activity, and how they protect themselves from viral infections. You see that if you do it properly, it's really indications that you can live much longer, radically longer. Additionally, bats produce many natural antioxidants. Again, we don't produce more the level of antioxidants, such as natural antioxidant glutathione, is dropping in our body in all humans. So you have to use probably some supplements to increase production of the natural antioxidant in our cells, and I will talk about this. I already was mentioned, I use these supplements myself, and I think it works. And so at least with the use of supplements, ketogenic diet, intermittent fasting, this is the least what we can do. And if we will add some exercise to this high intensity interval training, you see the bats are flying, birds are flying, and during the flight the metabolic rate is huge. So it is again during the flight they certainly are in the state of intermittent hypoxia. So this is high intensity interval training would be very, very helpful, but be cautious because it may also be used carefully. Autophagy itself does not significantly extend our lifespan as humans, but again, for bats it works. But improves our health even if you will just follow simple these rules like the minimum ketogenic diet, intermittent fasting, some supplements. Then it will give you some 5-10 years of healthy life. So I believe that regular igniting of autophagy is a necessary condition to prepare yourself for radical rejuvenation with intake of advanced enzymes to improve elasticity of tissues and to remove waste that cannot be broken down to smaller pieces with our own enzymes. This is very critical. This again, that we live much longer than bats, and in our body the stiffness of the organ stiffness of tissues is increasing due to glycation process of proteins. We have to remove these glycated proteins, but we don't have enzymes to do it. With my project, which I try to push to forward and to get financial support for it, then I hope it will be a big step in the radical improvement of health and radical extension of lifespan. Okay, then also these advanced enzymes, they help to remove waste that cannot be broken down in smaller pieces with our own enzymes during autophagy, which is natural autophagy. So autophagy is helpful, but if we will add to this autophagy something more like advanced enzymes, it can be much better. But again, I don't have any support, unfortunately, and the war in Ukraine, unfortunately, Russia invasion of Russia to Ukraine. Unfortunately, was made very big impact on my project, and actually I cannot even count on commercial production of these enzymes. I produce them only for myself in small amount. Why? Because I was getting some raw materials from Ukraine, organic. I don't want to buy them from China or elsewhere. But again, question is that if I will get support and if I will get more clients who will buy from me these advanced enzymes, then I will produce more. But problem again, I send these enzymes to my friends to America. It works, at least for now it works, but Europe completely not complete. They are just sending me these parcels back, so it doesn't work. I don't know what to do with Europe, or if I will get enough support, then I will maybe get some test of these enzymes and also get certificate for the product. So maybe it will be delivered to Europe, but for now not, sorry. Okay, next, rejuvenation is impossible without improving our immune system, of course, and autophagy is important, and the use of fat as source of energy absolutely important, because to improve our immune system we have to reduce this adipose tissue in our thymus and in organs of our immune system, and in red blood, in the red marrow in our bones, absolutely important, because we are losing red marrow while we aging. We have to remove excess of the fat, and it cannot be done without ketogenic diet. In ketogenic diet, intermittent fasting, and autophagy, this is absolutely important step to improve functioning of our immune system. Okay, as I said, intermittent fasting and ketogenic diet normalizes functioning of our intestines, improves digestion of proteins, minimizes the level of autoimmune disorders, and reduces the level of chronic inflammation in our body. Again, it is my opinion. Okay, I share my personal opinion. This is what I am doing about rejuvenation and radical lifespan extension. I decided to live for a few hundred years at least, or maybe 1,000 years, and I believe it will work for me, and I have many indications that it will work. If it works for bats, why it cannot work for me? And if it works for snake mole rats, why it cannot work for me? And nature shows us that it is possible, and also we can rely to Bible, and and to discover that a long time ago, I mean in biblical times, our patriarchs were living much longer. Even 100 years was considered very short lifespan. So it was, if people were dying in age of 100 years, it was considered bad luck, and so people were living much longer, used to live much longer. And again, if we understand how it worked, we can live longer, of course. Okay, I'm not medical professional, so I'm physicist. So please consult your doctor before making any decisions that may affect your health. It's up to you. Also, it's not my responsibility. I cannot give any advice. So my opinion may or may not agree with official recommendations, so please do your own research to be informed, and don't trust me. I do it for myself, first of all. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and sorry about the length, and but if you have any questions, please leave them in the comments section below, and I would love to hear from you. It's a very good help for me. Also, please don't forget to press the like button, subscribe to my channel, and share this video with your friends and family, because this would be a big support for me, and I hope it will be help for you, for your relatives and yourself and your friends. And this support means a lot for me and helps me to spread the word about this important topic. Again, guys, in our life is changing so quick, and we have some exciting, absolutely exciting news about artificial intelligence. Everything is changing very quick. Not always good news, like war in Ukraine and the danger of the third world war, nuclear war is there is such danger. And but again, it is interesting to live in these exciting times and to see, to be a witness, to witness all these changes, and it is fantastic. So again, if you be in good health and your brain will work quite well, which is absolutely this autophagy absolutely important for this. And yeah, it is, life is great, life is great, it is worthwhile to live, and it is not taking much time and money to live much longer. It's okay. So have a wonderful day. See you next time, please.